What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from Sammy Guru, and today we have another exciting Samsung video for you guys. Today I'm going to show you guys a very cool tutorial on how to get the depth effect on your lock screen on your Samsung Galaxy phone. Now of course you guys know on the iPhone this is a very popular feature that Apple introduced, and although Samsung took some steps towards this with the remove wallpaper feature in One UI 6.1, they didn't really go all the way, but now with Lockstar in Good Lock you can actually do a pretty good job of getting this effect perfect with a new feature that was added recently. So before we get started, I do want to talk about a brand new application that I've been using and the sponsor of today's video, which is Luminar by Skylum. Their photo editor for Android is absolutely amazing. Galaxy AI has a lot of great photo editing features, but there's some things that it just doesn't do or doesn't do correctly. And this is a place where Luminar can be very helpful. I want to show you guys a couple of examples that I really enjoy. I put together a couple of different examples just to show you. If we go in here, the first one is, if you want to add a different type of sky to the background, you can go over here to this little sky, see the little cloud there? This will allow you to take basically this clear sky that I have here, this photo of this vehicle, and you can see I can put a cloudy sky in there, I can add lightning there, even different kinds of lightning, and it looks very realistic. It changes the brightness and the coloration of it, and you can change it this picturesque, sky, painted sky, which Arizona sometimes has, but it wasn't there in this particular case. And then you can share this, you can share it to all of your favorite platforms, save to a photo gallery, etc. And it optimizes it for the various apps that you might want to share to. Now, the other example that I'll show you here, let me go back to the example that I had going to File Manager and this picture of my son, which I'm actually going to use for today's video to show you guys how to get the depth effect on the lock screen. What you can do in here is you can actually edit the brightness and the various lighting from different angles, and this is something I really enjoy. You see here, you've got the near brightness and the far brightness. So you can actually change these two things independently. So you can see how I can darken the background. Here I can change the brightness in the foreground to really make the subject stand out. And then over here, I can change the depth. So you can actually get a really cool depth look from this photo itself, which is exactly what we're also going to try to apply to our lock screen today using Lockstar that's built into Good Lock. So this is a very, very cool application. There's a bunch of other great features that I didn't even touch on, but these are two of my particular favorites. It goes above and beyond what you can do with a built-in photo editor on your Galaxy device. Check out the link below. Also, any relevant discount codes they have for the application will be there as well. I really do appreciate Luminar for sponsoring this video. All right, so working with this photo that we just edited using Luminar Mobile, what we're going to do to make the lock screen depth effect is we're going to long press on what you want to extract. In this case, I have this photo of my son, so I'm going to extract this image of my son. Up here in the three dots menu, tap Save as Image. So again, you can play around with it, get the perfect lighting, whatever you want on the subject that you're going to extract. Use something like Luminar Mobile to edit to get that look before you apply it to the lock screen. Now the next step that we're going to take is we're going to go into Good Lock and make sure you have the Lockstar module and you have the latest update. So here's the Lockstar. If you don't have Good Lock, you can download that from the Galaxy Store, of course, and then tap on this button here, go into the store and make sure you have the latest version of Lockstar, which rolled out back in March. It's been a while, 7.0.00.14, 57.26 megabytes. They integrated the Lockstar settings with the lock screen. They also added some new features for One UI 7, and that's the really important thing, is we're going to utilize that in this video. So now, once you've extracted this, you're going to go to your lock screen and you're going to long press to edit. And you'll notice once you long press to edit, the Lockstar settings are now baked into the lock screen editor. But if you don't see it, which you notice I don't see Lockstar here, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go into Good Lock and you'll actually need to turn on the Lockstar functionality first, and then you'll see this Lockstar appear. In fact, now if I go back, once I've enabled it, if I long press, once you've enabled that, it will show up right here once you long press on the home screen. Tap on lock screen here, you'll see you can add various things. And one thing that you can add here is you can add widgets. Now, if you go to widgets and scroll down, you're gonna find gallery. You can add images or stories. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna add an image or a story. And you can see here this particular widget setting. You can go to settings here. You're gonna find, so allow all, and then you'll find the image that you're interested in this particular case in showing, and I'm going to find the one that I just saved. So you see here in recents, I've got this image of my son that I just saved. What I'm going to do is I'm going to center, see center and fill, fit to widget, stretch to widget, go ahead and center, and then it's going to drop this right in there. And you'll notice that in this particular case, the transparency is all the way down. All right, so I had to switch over to my S25 Edge because I'm running the One UI 8 beta on the S25 Ultra, and it was being buggy. Who would have known a beta being buggy? Anyway, once you have the image extracted and you have Lockstar set up, let's go to the lock screen. You can long press on the lock screen to edit. You'll see the Lockstar option. What you're going to do is go to App Widgets, scroll down, find Gallery, tap Images and Stories. You're going to add your widget right there. It's going to load the widget data. You're going to go in here to Settings, allow all to get your image, and then you're going to select an image that you want. So what we're going to do is go into Recents, grab the one of my son, bring that in, and then right here, go ahead and just put this image wherever you're interested in having it for the clock. You can position it however you want. And you can see right there, if you kind of play around with the image and get it in the right, spot, it looks really cool, and you definitely get that same looking depth effect that you have on the iPhone. So it does take a little bit of time to not only edit the original image that you're extracting, like I said, Luminar, great application to do that with, and then you're also gonna have to play with the positioning a little bit, obviously, once you set this up using the widget in Lockstar. The size of the image that you use obviously matters as well, but the results in the end kind of speak for themselves, and I think it does look really, really nice as long as you get the positioning exactly where you want it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon below. Again, if you guys are interested in checking out one of the coolest photo editing apps that also has some really useful stuff that you won't find baked into Galaxy AI, you can go to the Play Store. Again, I'm gonna have the link below also with any relevant discount codes. Luminar Photo Editor, go ahead and install that on my Galaxy S25 Edge as well. You guys can check that out below. Definitely appreciate them sponsoring the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.